Hello everybody and welcome to this channel once again. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. So if you are new here, please hit on the subscribe button to subscribe. If you are old here, thanks so much for clicking on this video. So I started this cartoon stuff not long ago and some people are requesting for tutorials. So in this video I'll be showing you how to make a cartoon for yourself using Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop CS6, you have CC or any other version, it can do this. But before then, you will have to get to know how to use, at least how to use the pen tool. If not being a master myself, I'm not a master yet, but at least how to use the pen tool. If you can do that, that would be great. So let's go ahead and have fun. So I'll be using a particular picture. This is a picture of Sarkodie, one of the most famous musicians in Ghana, and I'll be using his picture. I'm just hoping that when he catches me, he will not beat me. Alright, so the first thing that we'll ever do is to get rid of the background. So we don't want the background, so we're going to get rid of the background, and then I'm going to do that using the polygonal lasso tool. Please bear with me because this is a tutorial. I can't just be slowing down. I have to move a little bit faster. Sometimes I have to fast forward some areas so that we can go faster, because you can't just sit down and watch over 2 hours tutorial. That's boring. Okay, so grab your polygonal lasso tool and then you start to get rid of, that is the polygonal lasso tool, yeah. And then you start to get rid of the background. So if you don't know how to do this, I have a video on that, you can check it out. So let me fast forward this area and then let's get rid of this background now. Alright, so in getting rid of the background, there are two things involved, right? So you can just hit on the delete button to get rid of the background totally, or you can just right click and then you cut the background. In this way you have the background and then you have the picture separately. If in case you are done with the picture and you want to maintain the original background but just make some small adjustment to it, you can just do that. So I will hide this background for the meantime, and then I'm going to create a solid color, a white solid color, so that I can see actually what I'm doing, and then I'll bring it down so I have a new set of background, and then we are going to work on this particular image. So we are just starting with the front right now. Now the first thing you have to do is create a new layer, and then I'm going to name this layer lines. Right, so I'll pick the pen tool. There are two things over here, the shape and the path. We are going to make use of the two simultaneously, but we are going to choose the path for now because we are going to create some small path around this this particular image. So what you do is you select the pen tool and then you start to draw around the edges. So anywhere around the edges, like how the image goes. So how the image goes, you just go around drawing. If you make any mistake, you just have to press Ctrl Alt Z, Command Alt Z if you are using a Mac, and then it will get you back, right? So you just go ahead and you draw around the area just like that. If you are a master in using a pen tool, you can do this within some few minutes, but for the sake of this tutorial you can just go around small like this, just teaching you though. So let me fast forward this area and then I'll catch you when I'm done with the edges. Alright, so I have this over here. It doesn't look all that perfect, but just let's take it like that. Okay, so when you are done with this, just grab your brush tool. Now make sure that you have something big like this. if you draw, you should have a line like this, right? So you can just test it out based on your picture and the resolution of your picture. So you can just test it out, and then you go back and pick your pen tool, right click and go to stroke. So you make sure that the tool here, we have different tools, but the brush is selected, and then you click OK. So you draw the edges around here. So I can see that this is I think this is nice. So you can just turn this off, and then you see the edges that you have. It's cool, right? So when you are done like this, we are going to draw different edges. So you right click again and go to delete path. If you don't delete the path, what it's going to do is where it ended, right, it is going to continue from there. So you have to delete the path, although we are creating these lines here. So you go around, and then any edge that you want to draw, you just do it like we did in the first line. So I'll fast forward this area too, and I'll catch you when I'm done. Okay, so if you come here and then you turn this particular image off, you can see that we have something small. We have a little sketch that we are going to use. So these lines are going to guide us to draw different stuffs. Now the first thing that I will draw, or the next thing that I will draw, is the hair. So I'm going to make use of the pen tool again, but this time around I'm going to choose the shape, unlike the path. So I'm going to choose the shape, and mind you, anytime you choose the shape and you start to draw anything, it will just create a new layer for you itself. It's automatic. So let's try this out. So let's just turn these lines off, choose the pen tool and start to draw with a shape, right? So I have my color to be black, and then you start. So immediately I start the first anchor, it creates a shape for me. So the shape tool, so you go ahead and then you draw the shape like this, just like that, right? So this is how it works. So you just have to go around the edges like that, and then I'm fast forwarding this area too. Alright, so immediately I'm done with this. I can just turn back there. I'm just showing you that it's just systematic. You have to go step by step, right? So you can take off the lines and then you see the guidelines. That's how it works. So we are just working this out step by step. Now we are going ahead to draw the shades. Is it the shades or sunglasses? Anyhow you call it. So I'll create that one too using the shape tool, the pen tool, and with the shape tool, right? So we just have to go around the edges also, just like that, like how we created the hair. So you just go around the edges very nicely. Since this is a tutorial, it might not look very, because it takes time, you have to take your time, but I have to also rush out so that this tutorial won't be boring. So let me again fast forward. Okay, so after going around, this is what I have. So again, let's turn back those that we have done earlier, and then we turn off this, and then we can see where we are going from here, right? So the next thing will be the beard, and yes, that one too. So let's create that one too. So let's turn off these ones, and then we can create the beard from here. So let's choose the pen tool again and start to draw. Alright, so from here, and then it goes like that. So basically you just have to know how to use the pen tool. Any way that you want to draw, you just pick your pen tool and you start drawing. Fast forward again. Alright, so initially this might not be looking good to your eyes, I know, but you can see that we are building something here step by step. So we just take procedures, so if you turn the lines off, you can see that we are creating something very nice over here, right? Okay, so let me get rid of those things and then let's go again. So what next? We're going to create this particular eyelashes over here. So I'm going to make a new layer, and that one we are not going to use the pen tool. Of course you can use it to do, but to my view I'm not going to use the pen tool. So let's see how I go by this. So I'll select my brush tool over here, and then I'm going to select a brush here that I downloaded from, I think, Debian stock, so you can just check it out. It's splatter brushes. So what I do is I select the color that I want. Most of the times I want to keep the cartoons a bit natural, so I pick the colors from the picture itself. So I'll pick this particular color. If by chance I want to change it, I can just change it. So I pick this color, and then I'll increase the brush a bit like that, and then I'll start to just brush off like this. So that is how most of the times I do the eyelashes, but sometimes, especially for the ladies, I do use the pen tool to draw the eyelashes for them. So I have something like this over here. So let's quickly figure it out. I placed this on a new layer because it can just mess up anytime. So let's name this eyelashes. Good. So any step that I do, I just make sure that I go over to check if I'm on the right path, because sometimes you might be doing stupid stuff where you will not even know. So we are getting along with this thing. So the next thing that I'll do again is to turn off all those things, and then I'll turn back my picture. But you see, we drew this shape over here, whereas we have the math inside or underneath of this particular shape. So what we are going to do is we're going to choose the pen tool again to draw this particular small beard over here, and then you can just leave it here. Now again, I'm going to select the pen tool. We are going to draw the map, right? And I will zoom in like that, and then I'll start to draw from here. So most of the times I use the pen tool to do most of the things that I do. Okay, so let me go back. It's not working as I want it, so I just have to go back and then work it out again. So this is how it goes, and then when I get to this side, I can just turn this off. I'll draw from here to this point, and I'll come to this side, draw again like this. So let me turn off the opacity so that I can actually see what I'm doing. Draw like this, like that, and then boom, I'm done. So I'll select this one and then choose a color from here. So maybe, like I said, I want to keep it natural, so okay, and then I'll turn the opacity on. But if you can figure out something here, you see, if you turn this off and then turn the rest on, you can see that this particular shape that we created, this shape has covered the mouth, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to right click on this, select rasterize layer, or perhaps let's make a duplicate, because anything can happen. So duplicate, and then we hide the duplicate. So rasterize the layer, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the opacity, and then I'll turn off this one too, and then I'll choose the polygonal lasso tool, and then I'll cut off the area that it affects. So let's say this particular area, I'll just select that area, and cut it off. Alright, so afterwards you can just turn on the opacity and then you hit on delete and then you get it cut off. So we have the math, you can just turn off the math like this, and then we can turn off this, and then you can see where we are heading to right now. So at this point I think we are almost getting along, and although I'm getting thirsty, you don't worry. So what next? We are going to draw the black shape over here, the attire. So I'll select the first line because it is beneath all of the layers, so it has to come under. So I have to select the lines, and then I'm going to draw or select the new layer 0, and then I'm going to turn off the layer 0, pick my pen tool again. Today the pen tool is in trouble, so the pen tool, and then I'll choose the shape, and then I'm going to draw from this side. So that is the reason why we created the lines, right? So I'll just draw. You just gauge where the line, the attire is supposed to cover, and then you just draw over. So I'll start from here, and then I'll start drawing. So it goes just like that. So you follow the path or the lines that we created, and then you'll be good to go. So please allow me to fast forward this area too. So I have this over here that I can just select. The reason why I like using shapes because you can easily change the color. So I just select this one and then I turn it to black, and then I have the sketch done. So whoa, but I missed something here, right? So I'm going to duplicate this and then turn off this one, rasterize this area, and then I'm going to turn the opacity to 0 so that I can get rid of this part because part of the body will be there. So select the polygonal actor tool and then select that area like that. I do always make the duplicate because you know, anything can happen, so we just have to get a backup, right? So like that, and then you select it, and then you just delete it. So if you turn this on, you can see that we now have the complete shape of what we're going to do. Now this is getting really interesting. The next thing that I'm going to do is, if you turn this particular thing off, you can see that we have his ear, right? So we're going to draw the ear, and then for that one I can select anywhere around this place, choose my pen tool again, and then I'll start to draw the ear from here. So you draw like this, like that, and then you turn off the opacity to get a clearer view, and then you continue, right? So I continue from here just like that. So I'll choose the color that I want, so I'll choose this particular thing, and then I will draw another one again from here, right? And then we have another one here, the notes. So you can just select using the pen tool. We are still using the pen tool, okay? So it just goes like this. So without said and done, you just turn this off, and then you can see that we have a very nice sketch over here. So the rest will be applying the body color, and that one is super easy. You don't need any professional skills to do that, right? So the last thing, or let's say how to apply the color, I'll just select this layer, the first layer that we created, and then I'll choose the pen tool again using the shape tool, right? So you can first select the color that you want to use. Let's say I want to use this particular color. Whoa, but I'll change it, you don't worry. Okay, so around here, and then you zoom in very nicely and you start to, so just like we did to the attire, by this time around, see how it goes. You can, since it's the last layer beneath the whole thing, so you can just start from here, get to here, done, and here, and then you can go ahead and follow the lines where necessary, right? So where it's not necessary, you just have to go on like that. So I can just jump here, zoom in again, and then I'll follow the lines. So I think it's super easy. You just have to take your time to do this. Maybe I might be moving faster, but that's how it's supposed to be. And whoa, this is what I have over here. I don't know what you are having right now, but at this point, if I turn off the lines like this, you can see that I have a very nice cartoon. I can just leave this for anyhow, but let's continue. So I can just turn off this one to, turn off, and then I'll turn back this on, and then I'm going to choose the color from his real face. So I'll pick a color around this place. Oh, so let's pick a color. All right, so I think here will do, and then I'll click OK. Good. So I can open the opacity again, and then I have this very nice looking cartoon. So at this point, you can just leave it like this, but if you want to go further, let's continue, right? So the next thing that I'll do is I'll select let's work on the head before. You see, if you select this particular layer, make a duplicate, and then take it to the uppermost of all the layers, right? You can see that we have some small shadow. I don't know how to call it, but that's how it is. So we are going to work on that too. So let's select the shape to, that is the hair. Let me make it the hair, right? All right, so let's select the head. We go to the blending options, and then we want to maintain, select gradient overlay, and then we want to maintain this part. This part has to be black like this. Wow. And then this part is going to be this color, right? Oh, I chose the other color, right? So black, and then we have something like this. So you can just leave it like this, but I don't want it this way. I want the black to be more, so I will drag it up to this point like this, very nicely. And then if you don't still want it, you can play around with the angle. Whoa, just like that. So you can leave it somewhere around this place. All right, so here we do, and then we'll click OK, and then we are going to select the beard. That is the beard. Let me name it beard, and then right click and go to the blending options, and we do the same thing too. So gradients, and then choose here to be black, and then here to be this particular color. So the color that you select for the painting or the body, you have to select the same color for this one too. So I can just drag this here. I want it to be deeper and deeper, and then I have this small like that. Oh, sorry, let me delete that. Wow. Okay, so all right, so I have something very good looking over here, and then I'll click OK. So at this point we are almost through, and then the final step that we are going, I think 2 steps more. So I'll turn off the actual image. You know, we are deriving everything from this particular image, so anything that you want to get, you have to take it from this image. So I'll select that image, go to image adjustments, and then I'll go to posterize. So it creates something like this for me. You can play around with the levels depending on the picture you are using. So somewhere around here, and then I'll click OK. So I'll go to the blending options, and then I can set this to either overlay or soft light. So it depends on you how you want it, right? So you can do this, and then you can reduce the opacity very small like that. Whoa. Okay, so at this point you can again duplicate this image, bring it on top. Just like I was saying, this might sound very crazy or something like that, but if you do this, it's very helpful. That's what I've been using. So you can turn off the opacity like this. It will look a little bit realistic. So just go to filter, noise, and then dust and scratches, and then you can open this one up. So you have something like that too, and it's very nice. So you wait for it to load. Wow. And then we are almost through. Okay, so the beard has entered small, so I can just select this and then select this area and get rid of it. So nicely done. And at this point you can just turn off the lines, and then you have a very nice looking cartoon. So any other thing that you want to add will be at your own risk. I'm hoping to do another tutorial, and then I'll show you how to make. You see, this is looking nice, but not very much detailed. Like, we've not created a whole lot of stuff in this particular tutorial. So I'm hoping to cover another tutorial so that I can show you how to create other stuff using Photoshop. So this was very helpful. If it was, I hope you give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave any comments that you want to leave in the comment section below. I'll answer all of them. And in case you want a cartoon also, I'll leave my email address in the description. Just find it out, message me, and then we are going to talk over it. I make cartoons for people, and I can make one for you for a cool bag. So that will be all for now. I'll be creating different cartoons in subsequent videos. So thanks so much once again for watching this video. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.